So again, I'm Sachin. I represent Hope and Homes for Children. And I'm really honored to navigate through the second session of the Stories of Innovation, where we are going to learn about wonderful stories which will highlight the power of families, which will show the compassion and also how the second chance work. So the story of innovation in the second session, we will be hearing about kinship care, foster care, and adoption. It will be help us to go and do the deeper dive that how the families can transform children's lives. Today we will be traveling through the stories from India, Nepal, and Malaysia, and each revealing how love, care, and community support can redefine what protection truly means for every child. So it's my privilege to introduce the speaker. So to begin with, I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Subhadeep Adhikary, who is the thematic lead for Child Protection Child in Need Institute, India. Subhadeep is having 14 years experience in development sector, and he has driven force in strengthening community-based care system in Jharkhand, India. His leadership has inspired innovative models that prevent family separations, promote kinship care, and ensure children grow in surrounded by love and belonging. Today, he is going to share a touching story from India, a story of kinship care, and how it had helped find a child, a family again. So please join me to welcome Subhadeep with a warm line of apologies. My next storyteller brings over 2 decades of deep commitment and social rights and social justice. Please welcome Ranjana, who is Associate Director, Advocacy, Research and Training from Udayan, India. Ranjana works bridge community engagement, research and policy reform, particularly in care, adoption and aftercare. Sorry. She has been instrumental in shaping framework that enable every child to grow within the nurturing family and environment. She is going to share a compelling story of adoption, highlighting how systemic transformation and collaboration are opening doors for the children to find forever families. So thank you, Ranjana. Thanks for coming here. Now, from the majestic mountains of Nepal, we have a leader who carries the voice of care-experienced people into every space she enters. Please welcome Rija Maharjan, Deputy Director, Himalayan Innovative Society, Nepal. With over a decade of experience, Rija has been a forefront of Nepal's care reform movement, leading change to family reintegration, youth-led advocacy, and deinstitutionalization. She believes that every child deserves to grow up surrounded by love, belonging, and community support. So she will be going to share the foster care story from Nepal, one that captures courage, compassion, and community spirit. So now I would like to invite Subhadeep to take the stage and share their story from India. Subhadeep, it's all yours.
Thank you, Sachin. Hello everyone and welcome to this post-lunch session. My name is Subhadeep and I come from India, working with Child in Institute. I'll start with a quote that I heard in the first panel today's in the morning session, that magic happens in the communities, and which is something I am truly aligned to, because that's the place where we do all the hard work and prevent family separation and support the children in giving them a proper family. Situations are very complex. Whatever we are hearing since morning, family, rights of a child, best interest, all these sounds like music to our ears. But if we do not percolate all those policies and programs till the last mile, till that child, then it makes no sense. Every child's need is different. Every family's need is different. So I bring this story from Jharkhand, a state in the eastern part of the country, where a girl was going through a lot of trauma after tragedy broke her, and her life got dismantled, and how community strengthening process helped the child in getting back to that family and the right of a dignified life. So I would request the IT team to please put up the video and please witness the journey of a girl from dark to light. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Thank you. The video was made in a day, but this took months, months and months of follow-up visits, consistent efforts by the local child protection committee members, frontline workers, to convince Hema, her paternal auntie, because she has her own kids too. Now, taking Natasha as an additional, support will be like a trouble for her as well. But as I mentioned, convergence is the key and prevention is better than cure. So we can prevent family separation, we can support families if we have an effective case management process, effective family strengthening initiatives, and empowering communities and families to prevent children and give them a proper life with dignity. So that's the core message I take from here. Convergence is the key, and bringing systemic stakeholders into work. All things will be good, but if we don't involve systemic stakeholders and officials, things will not take place in the ground. With that message, I rest my case over here. Thank you so much for your patient hearing and looking for this video. Thank you so much. Over to Ranjana for the next story of innovation. Thank you.
Namaste to all. Myself Ranjana Srivastava from Udayan Care, India. Today I am sharing a very beautiful story of child Pawan on adoption. Pushed out of the family, wandering on the street, rescued by the system, back on my feet. While at a care home, craving for a family, never let me sleep. Finally, integrated with the family, I felt the love deep, deep, deep. Pawan was just 6 when his world turned upside down, found wandering the streets of Delhi, alone, scared, unsure even of his last name. Rescued by Childline, produced before the Child Welfare Committee under the Juvenile Justice Act 2015, and soon declared a child in need of care and protection. The child care institution became his home. He learned discipline, made friends, played football, but at night, staring at the ceiling, he would whisper to himself, what would it feel like to call someone Ma? To come home to someone. The CCI gave him a safety, yet a quiet dream lived inside him, a family. And one day, during a group discussion on family, that dream slipped out. I wish I had one too. Despite every effort, his family could not be traced through the Khoya Paya portal and other family tracing mechanism. Growing up in care, he faced question, which no child should have to answer. Who are you? Where do you belong? Though he felt with a gentle smile, he left with a gentle smile, but inside he thought, maybe I will stay here forever. His case moved slowly. Legal delays, missing paperwork, too many files on desks. In this moment, he learned something painful. Older children are rarely chosen. Then came a turning point. The Supreme Court of India declared every state to identify and digitally provide details of orphans, surrendered, abandoned children, along with children who have no visitation till now, and children of unfit parents, a push that reignited the system. For officials, it was compliance, but for Pawan, it was not just paperwork. It was the difference between being visible and forgotten. And he thought, maybe now someone will see me. Soon his care home uploaded his details to the Central Adoption Resource Authority portal, and for the first time, his name appeared on a national platform. A small click, but for him, a door opening. The key turning point came when a couple from South India saw his profile. Their first virtual meeting was warm, awkward, and full of laughter. When they asked, will you understand our language? He grinned, I'll learn yours if you promise to teach me your favorite food first. Everyone laughed, the ice melted. Kara approved the match. The the pre-adoption foster care period began not always easy. The first week felt strange. He missed his friend, the familiar CCI routine, even the clock that marked bedtime. But slowly the house started to smell like his favorite sambar, old books, and new beginning. Soon after pre-adoption foster care, he was officially adopted. At 17, he walked into his new home, not a case file, but as a son. Now, when he talks to his CCI mentor, he says softly, "Ma'am, someone waits for me at home." That smile is not just happiness, it's a belonging. Pawan's journey is more than one boy's story. It marks a shift in India's adoption landscape. With Kara's integrated digital portal and Supreme Court monitoring, older children are no longer invisible. His courage to ask, "Please start my adoption process," became a spark. It showed that when system listen, courts, government, caregivers, forgotten children finds homes. Pawan Lives tells us something simple yet profound. Age is never a barrier to love. Every child deserves not just care, but connection, not just a roof, but a reason to return home. He once said quietly, "I don't feel different anymore." That's what family does. It turns identity into belonging. Thank you. Dhanyavad. Okay. Since I have 1 minute left with me, so this is the India's adoption portal that I want to share with you all. And next, please. This shows after Supreme Court judgment, the change come in India's adoption. This thing you can see 2024-25. In-country adoption 4,155, inter-country adoption 306, which is like boom in adoption throughout the year that you can see. Next, please. These are some of the IEC materials that's on Kara's portal. I have shared with you all for your reference. Thank you.
Thank you, Subhadeep and Ranjana ji, for those powerful stories. They remind us that care doesn't always come from systems. It often comes from people, from families who step forward, sometimes quietly. Let me take you now to a small community, farming community in Nepal, where one quiet act of love transformed 2 young lives. A story that doesn't begin with policy, but with a neighbor's decision to act. Every morning, Anima, 13 years old, and Chetan, 9, walked to school waving goodbye to their foster father, Anek. Anek is a 62 years old farmer, and for the past 8 years, he has raised them with love and dignity. But the journey didn't begin with safety. Anima and Chetan were born to Mitra, a young mother left unsupported when her husband disappeared. Mitra tried to rebuild her life and remarried, hoping for stability. But the new home soon turned to become a place of tension, arguments over money, and emotional neglect. The children were left in a vulnerable state, untreated wounds, frequent illness, no proper food, and poor hygiene. Held between pleasing her husband and loving her children, Mitra eventually turned to alcohol. Just a few houses away, Anek and his wife watched their lives unfold. And they saw the suffering that children never deserved. And they made a quiet yet powerful decision to welcome Anima and Chetan into their world. They first were hesitant, unsure if this new home would be safe for them. But over time, they began to trust. They are now included in every family function Anek has in their community, and they also meet their biological mother. Mitra also gets emotional support from this family This isn't just care, it's healing. In 2022, the local government and our organization, one of the active members of Alternative Care Working Group in Nepal, launched Foster Care Initiative. During outreach, we met Anek's family, and inspired by his story, we encouraged him to formalize the arrangement, to inspire others to foster, and to prevent family separation and child institutionalization. He was trained in foster care principles, and in 2024, officially recognized as a certified foster carer. This wasn't just a certificate for him, it was a validation of his kind heart and humanity. He is now a part of the local gatekeeping system, a first responder to act before any NGO or authority arrives to intervene. Anek often smiles when he has to share stories of his fostered son Chetan, who sometimes skips school to play in the fields because he loves playing with the mud. This family sustains through agriculture and animal husbandry. Apart from occasional support from his elder son from abroad, they have no other economic support. Yet the transformation is remarkable. Today, these children both are thriving, and they are now familiar faces of the community as Anek's children. They, despite of the different names and different culture, there is no stigma and no resistance. Anima recently secured second position in her exams. She dreams of becoming a nurse. And for Chetan, well, he's happy playing assistant to his farmer father. Anima feels like they are their real parents. We have linked this family with the local municipality, and they have also received parenting education. We are working together to resolve birth registration issues for these children and also advocating for the social protection schemes to ensure better care and education. Anek and his wife are committed to continuing this care provided until the children grow up. If Mitra is capable again, they are ready to reunify. But one thing is clear, they will never be sent to any orphanages, and the children, they do not want that either. Because of the stories like this, the government is owning the foster care model, a model that existed in the law, in Nepalese law since 2018, but was never reinforced nor demonstrated. Now we know the technical how. We collaboratively know it, and we have also worked together to develop foster care guides at the local level, soon to be integrated into the national guidelines of alternative care. This story and the community-owned model that prioritizes local ownership proves that solutions to child protection do not always lie in the distant systems. Sometimes they are homegrown, and sometimes they just live next door. This is the story of a relation not by blood, but by bond. That's the story of Anima, Chetan, and the man they now call father. So that's all from me for now. Thank you so much for being such a great audience. Now I hand the floor back to our wonderful moderator, Sachin, to take us forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Rija. Thanks for this powerful story from Nepal. And also my heartfelt thank to Ranjana and Subhadeep as well. It shows that what happens when families, community, and system come together. Hope is restored, and children find the way home. So now before I introduce our next speaker, I would just like to recall you that in the morning there is one QR code was shown, and that was related with the BICON declaration. So it required your inputs. So may I request that when you have time, can you please respond to that? Then now it's my pleasure to invite a change maker from Malaysia whose work redefined protection for children at risk of multiple vulnerability. Please welcome Mr. Anderson, who is the Executive Director, SUKA Society, Malaysia. Under his leadership, SUKA has created access to education for indigenous children, supported trafficking survivors, and pioneered community-based care for unaccompanied minors. His effort earned SUKA Society the prestigious UN Malaysia Award 2015. Anderson will share the inspiring foster care initiative for refugee, migrant, and stateless children, a story how compassion and courage can welcome invisibility and marginalization. Let's put together for Mr. Anderson.
Thank you very much for the invitation. Let me just start by saying that SUKA Society, the organization where I represent, is a child protection focused NGO that primarily works with unaccompanied and separated minors in the country. Most of these children come from refugee and stateless populations and who are underserved and often fall outside the national child protection system. Unaccompanied and separated minors in the country do live in cramped housings. They are vulnerable to abuse, neglect, and exploitation. Many of them lack access to services that basic services that will provide them a childhood, provide them opportunities for development, and so on. Because we work with very vulnerable children, our entire approach is naturally very child protection centric. We've just heard really powerful stories from the other presenters, as mentioned by the moderator. I would like to maybe take a step back now and offer a broader, more structural view of alternative care programs, particularly through the lenses of case management. As SUKA Society, the goal of our community placement and case management program are threefold. There is a goal of safety, stability, or permanency, and well-being. These goals, I believe, are not very different from most alternative care programs we've heard today. To achieve safety, we make sure that every child is placed in a stable foster care or kinship care environment, one that protects them from abuse, neglect, and exploitation. To achieve stability or permanency, we focus on the child's legal status and long-term durable solutions. And to achieve well-being, we work with various partners to ensure access to education, healthcare, mental health support, and community relationships and connection. All three goals, safety, permanency, and well-being, are essential in preserving the rights and the best interests of the child. The process, as you can see on the slide, refers to, specifically on the column on the right, begins with referral. Most of our referrals come directly from the community, and we have designated community focal points from key ethnic and geographical backgrounds to help us screen and verify each case. So therefore, we have focal points from maybe the Afghan community, Somali community, the Myanmar community, and so on, and in various locations within the Klang Valley. When a referral meets our basic criteria of being unaccompanied and separated minor, our case managers conduct a full intake. So in our program, we have a case manager with a case supervisor, supported by community focal points in ensuring that we're able to sustain this case management program. The case is brought to a case conference where the team deliberates and decides whether to accept the minor into the program. Once accepted, the case manager identifies a suitable caregiver and begins the matching process. Now, we're not a residential care shelter or an institution. We're primarily a case management focused organization. So one of the key decision-making processes we would make in every case conference is to determine what kind of alternative care arrangement is truly needed to meet the child's best interests. Naturally, our focus a lot is on foster care, kinship care. For example, however, some children do require specialized support that may involve arrangements or that offers maybe additional care or professional services. For example, we've had a minor who was pregnant, and as a result of a failed marriage, the case required care not just for the minor, but for the baby as well. So therefore, making arrangement not just for the minor itself, but having the supportive mechanism to also provide care for the baby of the minor. We've also worked with minors who were struggling with mental health challenges, and so therefore very difficult for foster carers to provide that kind of support, protection and care due to lack of compliance or lack of ability to just work within that structure and framework. So therefore we needed the extended support of the community to plug some of the gaps to ensure that the child remains safe in the wider community under the support of the foster parents. Once a child is placed in the home of a caregiver, whether a foster parent or a kinship carer, the case managers develop a case plan together with the minor and then works with the key stakeholders to ensure that the plan is carried out. This includes access to education, healthcare, mental health services, efforts towards family connection and reunification. Now, unlike traditional state-run social workers who often focus on compliance and monitoring, the case managers required to journey alongside the minor, providing continuous guidance and support in supporting the minor's case plan. This is because we obviously are an NGO, and so therefore we don't have the legal mechanisms to ensure that the process remains compliant. However, because there is a case manager's relationship, rapport building, therefore compliance from the minor in the program is secured. The approach ensures that both the case manager and the minor remains actively engaged in the child's development and protection process. If you notice in the diagram, you notice a parallel process on the left of our system in identifying and preparing the caregivers. This is crucial because we intentionally seek caregivers who share the same ethnicity as mentioned, and culture and so on. And so therefore most will be from the refugee population. So for example, if you have an Afghan minor, then we'll place with an Afghan family and so on. Now, there is a program life cycle that happens in our program. Typically, we have about 60 minors in our program. They stay there until they reach adulthood. Depending on the age, they come into the program, family members. But we do work towards ensuring that they have connections with their families back home and work with UNHCR and certain government agencies to explore legal pathways and durable solution. As they approach adulthood, we do use a comprehensive checklist to make sure that they secure independent living and so therefore able to look after and sustain themselves. And this can be from the form of financial literacy, skill-based or community integration and so on. For us, a tapered transition is key. We don't just end the relationship at 18. Sometimes we make sure that they are ready for adulthood. So that sometimes it takes about a year or two before they actually leave the program when they are ready to be on their own. So just quickly, in terms of just 5 quick points before I end. So it's important that to govern a case management program, to ensure that your alternative care program functions well. A few things are very important. Number one, standard guidelines and process is very important. This is to ensure your case managers are consistent in the work they do. They apply the quality of care to everyone in the same consistent manner. It also helps with the minors understanding the parameters of your program as well. There's a need for strong collective decision-making so that the child is involved in that decision-making process as well. Their opinions are heard, they're participating in the process of their own care as well. Training for case managers is important because case management is still something where a lot of organizations are still unsure in terms of how it's applied in a structured manner. Need to work strongly with partners in the community. And finally, just working with the community, especially the caregivers, to ensure that they are supported is very important, especially from folks where they are from the marginalized community. Therefore, they need that kind of support so that they're able to provide the care for kids in the program. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Anderson, for the deeply moving account. A reminder that protection begins when we see every child as our own. So now I'm privileged to bring on stage the wonderful speaker. It's the time to hear someone whose voice embodies resilience and transformation. This is Nimali S. Kumari, we also call her Nimu, from the BICON Care Reference Group, Sri Lanka. Nimu is a caregiver herself. She co-founded Asian Care Leaver Network, Generation Never Give Up. She is an inspiring advocate, storyteller, and author of A Case Girl, A Journey to Justice. Her work continues to inspire reform in family-based care and empowerment of care-experienced youth. Today, she is going to share her reflection on kinship care, foster care, and adoption, and what life might look like for the children if families and systems fail to provide the care they deserve. Please join me for welcome Nimu.
Thank you, my sisters and brothers. That's we call caregivers need a family like these sisters and brothers. And now today I have my family BICON. So I would like to start with the quote, with the sentence which I have written my autobiography. Through we had food to eat, a place to live, and the opportunity of receiving an education, we felt lonely and miserable. We were lost in a world where we could not run after an ice cream van for requesting ice cream, or step into a shop as we like to look around and buy ourselves a dress. We often felt a sense of isolation. We had got used to smile with tears in our eyes and go to sleep in the night when we were in CCI. Thank you, Sachin, for that kind of introduction. So hi, everyone. I Bowan from Sri Lanka, and Namaste from India, and from other languages, I don't know, but thank you for all for listening to me from beginning now. So hi everyone, I am Nimu from Sri Lanka, and I want to share my thoughts on these alternating options. Either I'm not an adopted child, either I'm not a child from foster family, either I'm not from the child from kinship family, but I were in the child in CCI more than 15 years. I am the one who decided to go out from my domestic violence family when I was 10 years old, and I just came outside from my family and I decided to go to the children's home. So you might see I am everywhere that I am smiling, but if you come close to me and you might be feeling, if you closely look at my eyes, you will see that something is missing. Which is missing and what is missing? It's family. Everyone, we deserve a family. Everyone is here, those here, I wish that you all have the family. That same thing we want. So many of friends have shared about their experience in recently also. But I lived in 3 child development centers. Because of my radical character, they have changed me transformed me into the 3 child development centers. So I cared there for more than 15 years. But some luck, I was managed to stand on my own feet here. But many children like me are left behind. I have seen adoption go wrong. I have seen adoption went well, and also I have seen kinship care go wrong, but also I have seen kinship care go well. Regarding the foster care, as a Sri Lankan, I have never seen the foster care system in Sri Lanka, which currently they are touching on the point. This is really funny thing. I see that's 3 minutes, but I think I will get few minutes because this is, without Caliver's voice, I think the conference is not possible. So I just want to quickly update like how I knew about the foster care. Currently I'm working for foster care manager of Sri Lanka for Their Future Today, but when I met the Their Future Today founder from Sri Lanka in 2018, she was asking me to come for the 5-star hotel in the rooftop where I have never been in the 5-star hotel. And I was in the lobby and I was just calling to her, then I am in the lobby, so I don't know how to go by the lift. And she came down and she came to pick up me, and then I went to the rooftop with her. And that time, in 2018, I knew about the foster care, and I was surprised why I was not able to go for the foster family. Either I am currently living in a well, and I am currently living in a good stand, but the thing is that I wish, because we are normal human beings, so we want more and more. We are not getting satisfaction whatever we are getting. I have satisfaction what I have, but still I want a family. So I wish these three options, like alternative care, we all deserve and we all wish that children to be sent to institutional care is the last option. So these other options should be definitely implemented in all the countries, where now Sri Lanka is started to doing that. So as my organization, the Future Today, and myself, we are supporting for the government and we are trying to implement this process, especially the foster care. So what I wanted to share is the last in the few points, like if these kind of options are not there, what can be things happen to the children, especially. So children who are living in CCI in the longer period, they are getting a traumatic and they are getting mental issues. And also with someone to trust, children also can suffer emotional trauma without someone to trust. And those children without support are more at risk of abuse and neglect. So, because there is a time limitation also, I would like to conclusion, but from my perspective, every child deserves to live in a family, not an institution. Alternative care must come with proper support and monitoring and the proper guideline. I wish every child could have a loving family and live happily. I am grateful to where I am today, and I am also respectful for my orphanages where I cared. But still, if I had a family and they hugged me when I won the cricket match when I was in school time. Also, when I got married recently, if my parents was there, if I had a family, I might get happy. Also, when I got award from after 700 applications selected for the 50 young women in Sri Lanka, and when I got the award, if there is someone to hug me as a family, I might get me happy. And also, when I wrote my autobiography, and on 25th of October, when I'm getting for the one of award from London for my book, The Caged Girl Urgent to Justice, if there is a family to clap me, if there is family to hug me, I will be definitely happy. Thank you, and I feel like there is a family from here. So most importantly, I wish I had someone to lean on when I needed the comfort zone. So this is what every child in CCI is asking for, a loving and caring family and alternative care options. I want to thank all the foster parents and those who provide alternative care. You give hope for the children. So I would like to respect all of the people who are in the world. We as caregivers are here to be the voice for the voiceless because every child deserves a family. I have dedicated my book to someone special, which I wanted to lastly mention. I have dedicated The Caged Girl, my autobiography, for all those little ones hanging on the iron gate, wistfully watching the road and hoping for the arrival of family that never ever turned up. So I would like to request you all. Currently, I am like a running project in Sri Lanka with the Their Future Today, House of Dreams, because we as caregivers, we know that what suffer from the CCI children, and what we want to have them families. So they're preparing them for outside. I'm doing kind of a House of Dreams program for the children who are living in CCI alongside Their Future Today and the collaboration with the other caregivers from Generation Never Give Up Network Sri Lanka. So I wish that all the people who are here, those who have the potential to support for this system change, I have started in Sri Lanka to drive the system change, so I need support from all of you. So I would like to end my speech saying this: every child deserves a family, not institutions. Every child deserves love and care, not sympathy, but empathy. Thank you for the clap, but at last I want to mention my husband because he's the one who wrote this forward in my book. He has mentioned it here. My wife has shown me that children from children's home need not sympathy, but love, attention, and affection. Thank you for everyone, and I did my well, and thank you for listening to my bad English. But however, There is my book, and you can also purchase it from me. Thank you so much. I bring few copies, and you can get it from Amazon also. This is written by originally my language, but this is translated to English by Mrs. Badradra and Vinsikadseram. Thank you for all the people, and thank you very much. And this is, I think, my third BICON since 2018. I am here. I really love this BICON family. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nimu. And this is how the moderator's job becomes very easy when you have such a wonderful speaker. So thank you, thanks everyone. And now I am just opening the floor for the question, answer, and reflections. We won't have much time. It's only 10 minutes in hand. But I request, you please just raise your hand and just share your questions. And our esteemed member will be responding to that.
Namaste. My name is Surendra Lama Tamang from Nepal and representing the Himalayan Innovative Society. I have two queries. One is for CINI India and another is for SUKA Society. What are the, first of all, thank you for sharing the Kinship story of a girl. And what are the community safety nets used by CINI India to ensure well-being of that reintegrated girl so that she could get the support from the community when she's in need? Because the monitoring visits are conducted based on the monitoring calendar and then also remotely, and then when the child is problem in the community, what are the safety nets? And then another query is for SUKA Society. How do you encourage community people to become foster family? And what are the messages that encourage them to come forward? Thank you.
So, shall I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Surinder, for your question on community safety net. See, a lot of components build the community safety net. There is no one option that applies for community safety nets. One is building the local child protection cadre, the local level child protection committee members, child protection officials, frontline workers, because they are the service providers and the duty bearers. They are the one who deliver the services. So building their capacities, empowering them on their roles and responsibilities is the most important criteria. The second one that builds the community safety net is empowering families, because families are clueless how to support the child. They don't have any much option. They simply surrender the hand. I don't have any resources, how to take care of this child. So developing family strengthening options, empowering communities, building the life skills of the families and the child as well, because the child goes through a lot of trauma. When they go through these vulnerabilities, they are in shock. So building life skills, strengthening families, exploring options, livelihood options, job linkages. Like as you saw in this video, Hema was supported in getting a job in a local NGO because she has her own two child. Natasha being a third one is an additional baggage for her. So how we can support families and empower them to take care of the child and family. So that's the second option. The third is also identifying local level solutions and platforms for child participation. Because UNCRC also mandates the importance of child participation and flagging out these issues. So these issues are in the communities, and children are the agents of change who will bring out those red flags. So how we can work on child participation, empower children, and build their agencies through safe spaces, identifying local level platforms for engagement and dialogues. So these are 3-4 major, the important ones for building the community safety net, and also working on the case management that follows. Because this case is 1 year old. Now, Natasha, when she got the financial benefits from the government, now it gets stopped. Now she is not getting any financial benefits because she is now empowered, she is back to school, she is getting the government school essential programs. Hema has a job to sustain. So government has withdrawn the sponsorship and have allocated the money to a different child who is in more need. So that's the plan of case management that you need to do, that when to invest and when to take off the child, because the money is more important and the money is important for other child. There are many more children who needs that money. So now the family is sustained, she is back to school, schemes linkage is done, Hema has a job. So all these elements build up the community safety net, and that's how we as an organization work in the communities to prevent separation. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Subhadeep. May I request Mr. Anderson to please respond to the question, and can be a brief so we can take up one more question from the audience.
I think the reality is that many people from the community are already supporting kids, unaccompanied separate minors. There is a lot of strength within the community. So the question is, how do we ensure that we support these communities by providing support, whether we're talking about incentivizing so that it doesn't become a burden, financial burden to them, but also in terms of just ensure that you provide a bit of structure so that kids are looked after in a way where their best interests are being met. So definitely leveraging on the strength of the community is very important, and helping them recognize that the work they do in providing care for their own people is important, and therefore as an NGO like ours, being able to support and go alongside them as they provide that care.
Thank you. Any more questions we have? Yes.
Hi, I'm Tulasi from Protect and Save the Children. Nimali, thank you so much for sharing your story. You're so brave and courageous and so inspiring to the rest of us. Can you please share with us some ways to work with children with lived experiences like yourself, especially children who've gone through so much of trauma, and how do we build their capacity, how do we empower them to be advocates like yourself? And we want to make sure that we do no harm to them or re-traumatize them in any way. Thank you. I also want your autobiography, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, you can contact us, like Generation Never Give Up Network is here, the Sri Lankan Caregivers Network. So you can, the president also here, former president also here. So you can contact us through, and then there will be more than 500 plus caregivers registered in our network. So you can contact us, and through me also you can contact, because we all are connected. We don't have any competition, so we all are working together in Sri Lankan context. So if you want more other Asian countries, everyone is here, more than 7 countries, you can contact. And yes, you can purchase my book from me. And yeah, even in Amazon, but physically you can take it from me. And I know that whatever you are going to ask from the caregivers, that it will not harm for the caregivers, because when I write this book for more than 4 years, I was re-traumatized, because my boss, Miss Lynn, she was supported me through psychological support, because it's not easy to remind and flashback for each and everything that I'm now 35 years, for more than 35 years, things that I have been going through. So please keep in mind that when you are going kind of things, doing with the caregivers, not to ask very personal question if they don't like. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I really wish I had the ability to extend this session for next 1 hour, but I don't think that our organizing committee will allow us. But for sure, we are going to have some exciting sessions coming up. So thanks all of you who are sitting over here for your thoughtful reflection and meaningful question. And I request for a big round of applause once again for our wonderful speaker. They have shown the path how courage, wisdom, and commitment are to ensuring that every child grows in a family, not an institution. Now, as we close the session, Stories of Innovation 2, Kinship Care, Foster Care, and Adoption, let's carry the story in our heart. They remind us that the change is not only possible, but is already happening. This is what I said in the first session. So let's continue to be the catalyst who turn these lessons into action, who transform every policy and every plan into possibilities for children to grow in love, safety, and belonging. Thank you, everyone. And now I invite all of you for the next 15 minutes for a coffee break. And after 15 minutes, my friend Anju will continue with the session 7. Thank you, everyone. Thanks.